Suomen kovimpiin koitoksiin. Sour Cream Snacks ja Flaming Hot Snacks. Kotikatsomoissa mukana Wilhelm Snacksit.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to this presentation of the ECL Elite Division right here on NHL Gamer. My name is Tuki, joined as always by my broadcast partner, Sin. And, buddy, the playoffs, we said anything can happen, but so far things have gone as according to plan, which puts us into a pretty interesting situation here for this particular broadcast. We got a lot to break down before we get into the action. Games 3 and 4 from Jyväskylä and Färjestad sit in the last remaining first round matchup. But I guess first and foremost, how you feeling today, and how do you think things are going to go?
I'm feeling fantastic here. I mean, we'll see what Färjestad's able to do here, but Jyväskylä looking well on the path to revenge right now for that upset from last season. And, Färjestad's going to have to put all, everything against that Jyväskylä has to be able to turn this around.
Absolutely. So we'll get you a look here at today's games, which are pretty straightforward. Only games 3 and 4 between Färjestad and Jyväskylä, because that is all that is left as we get you to the bracket here to update you on what has gone down between this past Monday, our last broadcast, and today. As on Monday itself, Sin, if I'm not mistaken, it was Philadelphia Northern Ascendancy playing all 5 games of their series, Philadelphia taking that in 4 games. So the number 1 seed moves on, and they will, of course, be awaiting the winner of this series. As, of course, elsewhere, Havu swept Roots Gaming, the 7th seed. Again, a very tough matchup for the 7 and 8s, as we talked about for the second year in a row. It's like, okay, it's great to make the playoffs, but what can you do once you're there? And the answer, unfortunately, was not much against the buzzsaws of Havu and Philadelphia. And then Sin, very surprisingly, and it's a bit of a shame, of course, that we couldn't get a broadcast together yesterday because we did miss out on the end of this series. But H-Reds completing the sweep against Vesapampa, a series that was so much closer than the final series result would indicate. A tremendous result for H-Reds, but incredibly disappointing for Vesapampa.
Yeah, Vesapampa, they played very well, so they probably don't deserve to get swept. But, saying what you deserve and what you get are, it's two different things here. And H-Reds just were the better team for the majority of it, and that's why they picked up the wins. They got the goals when they needed, got some of those bounces when they needed them too, and a bit of fortuitous luck on their side. Nonetheless, again, they were the better team for the majority there, and they advanced to that second round. But they get to take on Havu, the 2 and the 3 seed. But with how good H-Reds have looked, it could go either way in that series.
Absolutely, and of course, it'll be very interesting to be able to break down that series a little bit more as we move on to next week. But again, for Vesapampa, just a very unfortunate end to their series, the situations, and like we talked about, where disappointing for Vesapampa, but equally as great of a moment for H-Reds here. You look back into the playoffs last year, and in the first round, H-Reds took on Unlucky Boys at the time, and that series went 7, and then H-Reds went on to lose to Havu in just 5. So it's a rematch in the second round. Keep your eyes on H-Reds trying to essentially shock the competitive sixes world here, despite the fact that they are an incredible team. It would be a seismic shift within the community if H-Reds are able to pull that off. And again, Philadelphia await the winner of this series. So again, Sin, quite a bit to break down here. Let's bring it, as we always do, to the team matchup. Again, the next 2 games, games 3 and 4 here for Färjestad and Jyväskylä, with Jyp having the 2-0 series lead, as you can see on your screen there. And Sin, it is pretty straightforward. The 6-3 advantage for Jyväskylä off of the back of a 2-0 shutout win in game 1. And then, of course, in game 2, it was a little bit more close, but still ultimately going the way of Jyväskylä, 4-3 in overtime in a comeback effort.
Yeah, and Färjestad, their power play has looked good, but I mean, you know, 2 of their goals out of the 3 they've scored have come, I believe, on the man advantage, or maybe it was only one of them and 2 chances. I'd have to go back and look, but either way, I mean, you have to be able to score more. If you're Färjestad, you relied on your defense at a lot of points in this season, but then you got your offense going as well. Now it seems that Jyväskylä has figured you out, and Färjestad need to find something, you know, to throw at them that they're not quite expecting to inch their way back in this series, because a 2-0 hole is not what they wanted and definitely not what they needed. Jyväskylä has looked phenomenal so far.
With that, let's take a look at the team lineups here. And Sin, controversially, there is a major change for Jyväskylä despite being up 2-0 in this series as Teme takes over between the pipes. The rookie is in over Sandro in this broadcast here for these next 2 games. Of course, it's the main core lineup from there, though, with Vatu, Antti, and Indy up top. Domi and Amari on defense. For Färjestad, they stay the same with Afe, Malin, and Antonio Mannin, Furian, and Arubatas on defense, with, of course, McSavitt between the pipes. But that is, Sin, going to be our major talking point here, is the rookie in Teme taking over between the pipes here for this broadcast today.
Yeah, absolutely it is. It's sort of a curious move, but I wonder if perhaps Jyväskylä may have had this idea in mind. You know, they split Teme and Sandro in the regular season pretty evenly, 16 games to 14, and now they're going with, you know, another goalie here in the postseason as well. You know, if they're confident in both goaltenders, that's great. Oftentimes, you do want to just, you know, ride the hot hand. And in all fairness, Sandro did look great in this series so far. We'll see if Teme is up to the task here. But if you're Färjestad, you got to be licking your lips a little bit. It's a different look. You're looking for any sort of hope.
I mean, you have Antti in chat from Jyväskylä saying it was always the plan to split the first 2 games, which, my opinion, bold strategy. Sandro finishing with the second best save percentage in the league at an 82% in the regular season. Teme was at a 75, but they did have a 16-14 split, so they were a true tandem there as well. So interesting for them to stick to the plans, but ultimately not exactly something that I would expect. There's a big difference between, oh, hey, we gave you the lineups this morning, Antti, and saying, well, Teme's in, you should have known. Big difference between, oh, it was always the plan to stick with this tandem structure regardless. We will see if it works out for them. With that, Sin, let's get to the individual breakdowns as we always do. We will start off with the Battle of the Centers. The previously aforementioned Antti is there against Malin as you get a look at the point total so far. Sin, dead even in terms of the points, but you look elsewhere. I'd say towards the the physicality side of things, some of the other underlying numbers that we would take a look at here that really kind of separates these two so far.
Yeah, Malin definitely a bit more of a physical presence, also more of a guy who possesses that puck. I mean, we mentioned in the regular season how he led in both takeaways and giveaways here. I mean, here in the playoffs so far, 33 giveaways compared to his 6 takeaways. On the flip side, Antti's 6 takeaways, only 9 giveaways. So it's kind of a glaring difference right there. Yes, Malin may possess the puck quite a bit, but that's also a lot of turnovers coming from one area on the ice for Färjestad. And we noticed that was something that Jyväskylä was keying in on: aggression, forecheck, force those turnovers. So look for them to do that. And Antti's going to be spearheading that charge.
Absolutely. With that, let's take a look at the battle of the wingers here for Yip. It is the rookie sensation, I think we can label him at this point. It is Vatu alongside Indy. On the flip side, we have Afe and Antonio. Now, Sin, for me, when it comes down to it, I mean, again, obviously you look at Vatu, 5 points in 2 games. We've seen the more offensive production from the Yip side of things. But then again, you look at the turnover ratios for some of these players. Indy, 1 takeaway, 17 giveaways, which is an astonishing number, all things considered. Really shows how much he's involved in the offense. Where on the flip side, Afe, 2 takeaways, 2 giveaways. Really does show that he often doesn't have the puck in the offensive zone. He's more the guy to just constantly set up to get those one-timers and those open looks.
Yeah, the thing that Afe does best is find open space, and that's something, if you play forward, is invaluable. The eyes for the ice is what Afe has, and I feel like he and Antonio right now are a couple of sleeping giants. They haven't got going offensively. How much talent they have up front. You got to think it can't be too much longer for Färjestad to get going. That being said, as you mentioned, Vatu and Indy very strong on the production side of things. A bit of turnovers, as well, but with how much they possess the puck at times, especially in the offensive zone, that's gonna happen eventually. It's just they always seem to get the puck back, so it's their forecheck and their aggressiveness right now that's really propelled Jyväskylä for this 2-0 lead.
And looking over now at the defenders, again, same thing that we saw on Monday and what you would expect. It is Domi and Omari for Jyväskylä. For FBK, we see Furion and Arubatas. Sin, the main standout here, of course, aside again from some of those underlying numbers, which I think there are some interesting ones here, it is one of our keys as well. Just how much offense in those first two games ran through Domi on that left-hand side.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, don't look at that one assist and think that you can sleep on Domi. He is the catalyst in so many ways for this Jyväskylä team. He makes that first pass really well. He'll hold the line. Hold the line. His pinches are perfectly timed as well. It's really something that Färjestad's gonna have to watch out for, especially on the breakout. But once they establish that zone time as well, you'll see Domi a lot making those passes to set things up, and Ilmari more of the shot taker back there. So if you're Furion and Rubatas, they get a lot of offense as well, but at the same time, an entire team defense of Färjestad's going to have to look out for those two guys on the back end in Domi and Ilmari.
And then, of course, perhaps our marquee matchup beyond all the other head-to-heads comes down to the goaltenders here, as once more, apparently a part of the plan the entire time. Could have fooled us. Didn't have word about that. It's shocking nonetheless. Teme, the elite rookie, steps in to his first ever playoff matchup here in the elite division. He takes on McSavid. Sin, of course, here you're getting a look. I do believe, actually, of course, at the regular season numbers here for McSavid. Of course, 30 games played as opposed to, the 2 that he's played in the playoffs. We'll see if we can get that fixed there, if we're just going to leave it as is. So, hey, the head-to-head matchup's correct. The stats be what they are. And hey, we tried.
So close. But I'll rattle those numbers off right now. In the 2 games played, it's a 3 goals against average for McSavid, and a save percentage sitting around that 68% mark, which is, relatively low. But again, some of the chances that Jyväskylä were getting were, 8+ opportunities. It seems like that's almost all they got a lot of the time, and Färjestad didn't really have an answer for it, especially when they're turning that puck over in their own zone. They're going to have to be better in front of McSavid here and really try to limit Jyväskylä to those lower percentage shots.
Absolutely. So again, 2 very capable goaltenders going head-to-head in this one. Sin, we are just about ready to go for puck drop here. So as we always do, let's bring it to the keys to success for the 3 teams. We'll start off, of course, with Jyväskylä. And unfortunately, we might sound like a bit of a broken record because, the same talking points are, what you would expect to have after just 2 games in the series. First point here, though, be careful at the blue line. Like we said, the offense ran through Domi on that left-hand side. FBK are likely to make adjustments, so we'll see if there's a little bit of a change in strategy there from both sides, really. Second point here, ideally, you would get Omari involved, one of the better offensive defensemen in this league, but as we saw, just didn't really factor in too much in that first game, whether or not that's due to more of a defensive focus in neutralizing an incredible counterattacking threat in Afe on that right-hand side. Tough to tell. But obviously, I think ideally for them, take the pressure off, have a better chance of success if those 2 on the blue line are firing on all cylinders. And then, of course, no pressure here. Batu, first 2 playoff games, 5 points. What a debut for the rookie. We're going to see if he can keep that pace up. Sin, for FBK, what do we have?
Well, the first one here is addressing, the elephant in the room. Färjestad's really going to have to put the pressure on. Teme is a Rookie of the Year contender, a very solid goaltender, but this is his first taste of ECL elite playoff action. He will continue to build that confidence the longer he goes without allowing a goal. So if you're Färjestad, you can't get off to that slow start that they got off to in the previous 2 games where they only mustered, a couple shots in that first period. They've got to come out swinging. The second one here is hold the door. Game 2 saw them lose a lead and then also lose in overtime, blow a lead, lose in overtime, got there in the end. And for a team that prides themselves on being, such a defensive dynamo and having such a good structure on the back end, this simply can't happen again. Jyväskylä is too good, and they will make you pay for those mistakes, which brings us to our third and final point here, measured risk-taking. Really, they allowed Domi way too much time at the point in the first 2 games, and at the times when they did pressure him, it often opened up the space. It was they kind of have to find that middle ground right now to limit some of those scoring chances. So it's all about better timing, and that will definitely lead to success in sort of neutralizing the threat that Domi is on the point.
So again, just a few moments away from puck drop here. Game 3 of this first round matchup, our final and only ongoing first round matchup at this stage. The 3 others, of course, have already concluded. Philadelphia, Havu, and H-Reds have moved on. The question is, who will join them? Who will take on who will take on Philadelphia, I should say. We already know it's Havu and H-Reds. It'll be one of these 2 teams that moves on to play our number 1 seed. Sim, we're going to look at the locker room there. Of course, a lot of puck movers, a lot of playmakers. The go-to meta builds for the European side of things. Afe running with that sniper. No real surprise there. So no changes in the builds from what I happen to notice. And we look now to what this game has to be here. And again, a 3-0 lead would be devastating for FBK to have to try and come back from, especially last year, taking this first round matchup. A rematch last year, of course, they won it in 5 games over Jyväskylä, trailing 3-0. I don't know if they can come back from that. I don't know if any team can necessarily come back from that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it definitely is possible. We almost saw it in last season's championship where, Philadelphia clawed their way back but did lose in 7. So, yeah, while it is possible, you don't want to find yourself in that situation. These first 10 minutes of this first period are so important for Färjestad. They have to get off to a good start.
So here we go. Game is underway. Let's see how this plays out. FBK looking to battle their way back into this series, and that is a very good way to do it. We're going to have a power play very early on here, as it's Ilmari from the looks of it going to be taking a seat. Big chance here, Sid.
Absolutely, and, they're a 50% power play so far for Färjestad. Let's see if they can get one here.
They win the draw. Again, Mullen's gotten the better of him. Pass across there. Just doesn't find its way through. Not dumped out, though. Great hold by Furian. Over to offense. Shot. Rebound. Scores! What a start under a minute and a half into the game. Power play goal for Färjestad. What a way to start things off, Sin. It's Antonio with his first of the playoffs.
Yep, first playoff goal here for his team in Färjestad, and that's exactly what I was talking about. They needed a good start, a bit fortuitous with the power play early on, but you have to execute. That's what they did. The shot on net, the rebound, I like it. They didn't move around the perimeter too much. They tried to, get the puck to the net, and it worked out for them. Huge rebound goal, 1-0 lead here early on. Now, let's see if they can sustain it, build on it. They can't allow Jyväskylä to start to get that back immediately.
So there we go. Again, the perfect start for FBK in this situation. We'll see how Jyväskylä managed to respond. We had seen some very quick responses from them previously. Hold it down low in the corner here, their first real attack. Domi at the point. Back down low to Antti, looking for a little bit of space. You can see how much they're trying to work it down that left-hand side. Moving it back over to the right-hand side now, though. Quick movement again. It's sent a little bit too quick there. No time for Omari to get back to the point. Afe pressuring this one. Chopped away out of danger.
Yeah, good foot race right there, but a good job from Domi and Omari to sort of bubble him and reduce his speed just a bit so they didn't completely lose that foot race.
Get back into the offensive zone here. Indy not able to maintain possession. Not the strongest start we've seen from Jyväskylä in a playoff game. Good job here by FBK to drop that one back, taking the time on the breakout. Which again, we don't really see the dump and chase here in the European style, all things considered. Much more puck possession based. Just 2 of the better teams at it. FBK wins it back in their own zone. Again, you see the pressure there from Indy. Great job by Antonio to weave his way out of trouble. Afe trying to chase this one down again. A chop, frees it up. Furian keeps it in at the point. Pass in front. Couple of chances. Antonio tried to sneak back in. tuck it in on the short side. Just not enough space. Knocks it loose here, though, and is going to win the race against Omari. Great forechecking here from Antonio Mann, still fighting for it, but Omari once again able to recover. Sent a great opening 10 minutes here. Nearly won back again off the step up from Mullen. Great start for FBK.
Absolutely. They're throwing a little bit of Jyväskylä's own medicine back into their face with the good forechecking pressure. Space
here for Indy. Takes the hit. To get the pass over into the corner. Omari takes the hit on the step up. Good quick movement again here for FBK. Afe gets it over the line. Can't cut into the middle, but again knocked loose. Antonio all over the place right now, especially with that defensive skill stick.
Yeah,
quick
absolutely.
out here on net. What a way to test Teme there. And again, I mean, Sin, you talk about it. They do get that quick goal against the rookie goaltender here, despite that great regular season start. 2-on-1 developing here. Antonio has a chance, went for the pass. A little bit too much traffic there. Looks like Teme had pretty good positioning, though. Again, broken up in the neutral zone. Miscommunication on the pass there, but here we see the forechecking pressure stepping up. Trying to win that puck back. Good job by Jyväskylä to get out of the zone. With a bit of a step, runs into the double team pressure, and again, FBK cutting out everything that's being thrown at them right now. Great job by Afe to hold on to it only momentarily. This is back, now we go back down the other way. Recovered here, Domi looking, back to the point, no space, poked away for the moment. But again, possession maintained by FBK. Into the zone they go, Mullen to Furion, poked away. Vatu can't get it in stride. Gives the defense a chance to catch up to him, and they do an excellent job from there. So a bit unfortunate for Vatu there, to not be able to get that puck pick up in stride.
Yeah, a bit of a lucky break there for the Färjestad defense. They were built. Vatu had the step. He just couldn't get that puck pickup. Maybe got a little too ahead of himself. Didn't get close enough to it. Really had his eyes on the net there.
Final minute of play here in the first period. Färjestad again, the opening goal. Just a minute and a half into it on the power play. See what Jyväskylä can do, though. We've seen some late goals. 10 seconds here. FBK in possession. Maybe playing with fire. Try to get that one final opportunity. Mullen has space. Antonio shot it just wide. Went for the top corner blocker side. Sin, if that was on target, that may have very well been a goal. Regardless, tremendous start for FBK. Exactly what they needed.
Yeah, exactly what they needed is right. I mean, we talked about it in the pregame. A bad start can really doom you. That being said, allowing Jyväskylä to come back can also doom them. What I like from Färjestad is they're not sitting back. They got a lead. They're not really relying on their defense. They're staying aggressive. They're still looking for those counterattacks. But what I really appreciate about their aggressiveness is it's not so much just in the neutral zone and the defensive zone. Now they're forechecking, and they're putting even more pressure up in the neutral zone, something that they didn't really have in those first two games. And that was something that Jyväskylä really excelled at, and the reason why they had such an advantage over Färjestad. We see right there, Jyväskylä got some time on attack, no registered shots. Färjestad less time on attack, but they're not wasting any time. They're putting shots on net as we get another look at that power play goal and how it developed. Just a low shot off the pads, the rebound, and Antonio fighting for body position, got it, put that one home. And you mentioned it, a late chance at the end of the period, not what he wanted on the shot. And had they had another second, I'm sure he would have gotten that backdoor pass off to Afe, but good clock awareness just to fire that puck on net.
Here we go, just about ready now for the second period here. Again, game 3 of this first round matchup, the ECL Elite Division playoffs. I want to thank our partners in Wilhelm for helping make this season happen. Of course, 15K Euro prize pool at stake here. Chance for Jyväskylä quickly taken away. Second opportunity again. Blocked down in front. Fired through the crease. Saban was able to essentially get out of the way of that one. Not often what you want to do. Chance here for Antonio. Drops back, and again, another quick pass. Afe takes a big hit. Still holding it down low. Mullen bumped off the puck. Antonio there to help. Yep, we'll be able to at least drop it back for the moment. Maintain puck possession here. Over the line. A little bit of space for Vatu. Quickly disappears. One back by Domi. Indy tried to go back over to Vatu. Had another chance on the short side. Just not enough. Be able to get that one to the back of the net. Jyväskylä right now, though, stepping up the pressure. Big hit there. But you see the incredible pressure on display. Tried to fire it through the traffic. Domi couldn't get it through. Ante gets it back to him at the point. And again, back down low in front. Taken away. FBK going to try to get things going the other way here. Antonio Mannin trying to hold it. Can't do so. Great pressure again by Mullen. He wins it back. He has help. Shot. Couldn't get it through. Covers it though. Finds Furian, who's pinching in. A little bit of trouble trying to find space. He can't do it. Too many layers in defense. For Jyväskylä. Here's Vatu. Drops back for Domi. Defenseman pinching in. Circles back. Nowhere to go. Against him, we've seen it from both teams. The layers in defense might not have a chance here for you to get a word in, though. Furian finds Antonio, who tried to hit Afe down low. And again, the incredible pace that we're not exactly surprised to see after those first two games.
Yeah, it's really getting hectic right now. I mean, both teams pressuring, both teams with the quick rush plays, but Färjestad's got to be a bit quicker here on their decision-making in the zone and in the offensive zone and the defensive zone. They had a couple opportunities to shoot. They didn't. A couple opportunities to pass out, and they didn't. So they got to be careful here. Jyväskylä, again, they can make you pay for those mistakes.
Halfway through the second period, again, games 3 right here, right now, and 4 in this broadcast. If the series goes beyond that, we'll see the conclusion tomorrow. Same time right here on NHL Gamer. That broadcast will be in Finnish, however, so fair warning there. Of course, the second round begins next week. Jyväskylä still in the zone. Antti trying to drag it through, and they finally get a shot on McSavid, and he's there to make it.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if he actually shot it or just kind of dragged it into him. Nonetheless, good job by McSavid to be there and cover it up, get a face-off for his team. They were facing a lot of pressure.
Here's Afe trying to work his way through, and he does. Down low in the corner, has options. Goes to Mullen, quick movement to get it to the point. Rubitus back down low, and again has it once more. You can tell they're looking for something specific. It's just not there right now. Mullen to Afe. No shooting lane. Mullen able to recover it. Back to Furian at the point. Again back down low into the corner, but a miscommunication with the centerman. Leads to Jyväskylä getting the puck back. Again, now just 5 minutes to go here in the second period. The lone goal, a minute and a half into this game for Antonio Mannin, who's battling for it now. Drops it back to his defense. Chance here for Furian. Tried to hit Afe. Couldn't do it. No icing here, as Antonio will chase it down. Dishes it back to the point. A little bit of a pinch in here from Rubitus. You can tell they're looking for it. One-timer deflection bid. Just doesn't find its way. But there you saw it. The shooting lane finally opened up for Furian. Again, one of the most offensively proficient defenseman in the history of the Elite Division. Domi on the flip side, he has that reputation himself, continuing to work the offense through. Antonio pokes it away, but he won't be able to chase it down as we hit the final minute here of the second. Domi tried to work his way through, he couldn't. Chance here for FBK. Antonio gets the shot on, it just doesn't go. Might have been a pass actually off the pads. 8 seconds, one final chance for Yip. Domi circles back, shot on, blocker stopped by McSavid. So chances at both ends in the final 15 seconds or so. That will bring us to the end of the second period. Still Färjestad where they want to be, up 1-0 in this game.
Yeah, and on that rush play, I think Antonio is looking and thinking past the whole way, and I believe the defensive Jyväskylä kind of figured that out. They know Afe is the primary shooter there, and Antonio didn't really pull the trigger too. It was too late, didn't really have an angle on it. A decent counterattack from Jyväskylä. I feel like they're passing up a lot of shooting opportunities. Again, looking for that really high percentage look. It's not quite been there for them just yet, and we saw a result of that sort of a delay effort when Domi turned it over, and it was what led to that Antonio shot. It was that turnover by Domi, who was trying to buy that time. They're trying to cycle it, get that one look. But if you're Jyväskylä, you got to look at those numbers. 6 minutes time on attack, and you only have 2 registered shots, 0 goals. Something's not working. And here in the third period, is it going to be too little, too late to start cranking up the shots? I don't know. Färjestad, they can still score more. They still have the lead here. If you're Jyväskylä, you're cutting it really down to the wire here to get your offensive game going.
So again, third period just about underway here. Game 3. Färjestad trying to work their way back into this series, guaranteeing a stream tomorrow. The only way there would not be one is, of course, if we see the sweep. So, of course, pay attention to NHL Gamer on social media. Great opportunity there. Of course, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all the fun stuff is McSavid. We'll cover that one, and of course, NHLgamer.com. Make sure to drop us a follow here as well if you haven't. Get the alerts for when we go live. And again, either it will be tomorrow at the same time, 9:45 CET, Getting that broadcast in Finnish, where Sin and I will eagerly await the start of round 2, the beginning of next week. Great play by Mullen there to work it into the zone. One-timer for Furion, save the rebound there. Afe not able to get a piece of it. They continue to go back to Furion at the point, just not able to get those deflections that they want.
Yeah, they want those one-timers from that side of the ice, either Afe or him.
Domi shoots it on. Not able to get that one through, so a little bit of your own medicine there. Thrown at FBK. Huge hit, but space for Mullen perhaps. Domi having to pinch over to the other side to make the play happen. The defenseman leading the rush here. Domi sauces it in front. Just couldn't find a way to get it to Vatu again. 5 points in 2 games for the green icon here on Jyväskylä. The rookie in Vatu, and yet back in possession here. As Antti looking for space. Good puck protection, but not able to work his way into the zone. Neither is Domi. FBK doing a great job of patrolling the line. Antonio knocks it loose, not able to regain possession, though. And it opens up a little bit of space. Indy with the step, cuts back, goes to Domi. No shooting lane, no passing lane. Caught in no man's land there. FBK doing a good job here, making the most of the ice in the defensive zone. Antonio not able to get it into the offensive zone. On the other side, though, Elmari stepping up for Jyväskylä. Good movement, but again, knocked loose at a crucial time. Vatu in front. Indy incredibly close to getting that shot off, but Furion was there to help take away the opportunity.
Yeah, and Färjestad, both teams right now doing a good job patrolling the blue line here as you see it, yet another turnover forced by a good collapse.
BK win the puck back here. Again, down low to Antonio. Mullen, able to get it to Afe, just not able to get the shot through. Here's Furion. Back to Mullen again, back to the point. Tries to go back to Mullen, not able to hold it. Loose puck being fought on for. It's going to be Afe who comes up with it for FBK. Dishes back to the point. Rubita shot, tried to get the deflection, puck still loose. Chance poked away again. Unfortunate for FBK. Just couldn't pull the trigger on a shot. D to D, shot deflection bid and a big kick save. Demo was there once more. Just over 6.5 minutes to play here. Still 1-0. And game 1 ended by a 2-0 score, of course, in favor of Yips. So we never know between these two teams. Is it going to be more defensive or a high-scoring affair? As that one on McSavid takes it to the chest. It'll be a face-off in the offensive zone here for Yip.
Yeah, big opportunity for Jyväskylä to turn things around as they got hemmed in right there by Färjestad, who have been shooting from the point quite a bit because they're getting to those loose pucks. That allows them to take those lower percentage shots a lot more effectively.
Is Antti able to come up with the puck here off the draw. Goes back to the point. Shot him. Mari can't get it through. Second chance. Indy shot to the far side. A deflection bid attempt there from Antti just didn't go. Save it, getting the job done as he's being called upon a little bit more here in this period.
Good rebound control as well as Antti did have the body position right there on the doorstep. No big rebound for him to swoop up though.
Natu scores! The rookie makes it happen off the draw. A little bit of space is all it takes, and we're tied at 1.
Yeah, bit of a loose puck and a bit of a delay on that. And McSavid, actually, you saw him got, caught over sliding simply because of that odd delay with the incidental contact. You'll see it right there. He loses the puck, then picks it up again. McSavid caught just a little bit too far left, trying to cut off that short side. And Vatu picks that far side corner, and it's all tied up here. Just like that, things can turn around.
Again, Vatu started in Season 8, 2 seasons in our 3rd division in light, moved up to pro last year, our 2nd tier, and now he's in elite, and this kid just keeps getting better and better. What a rookie campaign. He ties it. He has the puck again here. Drops back to Domi. Defenseman circles back. We are tied. Goes to overtime. We'll stick with it for as long as it takes. Antti back to Omari again. Good movement, but good pressure there from FBK. Sin, we've seen them blow a lead in the series already. Game 2, they weren't able to hold on. It was one of our points. And again, here at a crucial time, just not able to hold on. It's another goal that McSavid would honestly like back. There were a couple of them on Monday as well. I think that's another one that he's going to look at with a little bit of regret. Here's Ilmari for Yip, though. Final minute of the play. Vatu can't get it through. Great chance. Better positioning from Rubitus there to get into the shooting lane. Mullen has trouble. Afe able to get it to Antonio. One-on-one situation here. He'll wait for the help. A lot of back pressure, though. Mullen looking at his options. Trying to circle through in the corner. Still has it. Goes through. Tried to get the pass in front. It just wasn't there. We approach 30 seconds remaining here in regulation. Antti loses it on the back pressure to Afe, who has trouble. He's going to come up with it, but it's going to be an icing call here, as it goes all the way down with 23 seconds to play.
Yeah, and another huge opportunity for Jyväskylä in the dying seconds of the third period. Now Färjestad, you saw them kind of abandon that point shot there and start trying to force the slot a bit more, which plays into Jyväskylä's game.
Mullen wins another draw. Great pressure, though, by Vatu. Loose puck. Indy tried to sweep it home. Still scrambled for. And it's Furian able to come up with it. 14 seconds. Big stretch pass off the mark. Another chance here for Yip. Antti able to send it over to the far side. 6 seconds. Domi pinching it back to the point. Fired through. Backhand on net. Doesn't go. And a couple of chances there. A sigh of relief from FBK. Sin, we are going to overtime for the second game in a row between these two teams.
Yeah, and you know, if you're Färjestad, you got to kind of be kicking yourself once again. Yes, it was only a 1-goal lead, but you still gave it up. You still weren't able to build on it, despite having at times some good pressure. Couldn't find a way to bury it, and you know that's unfortunate. You're only, again, another goal for them coming on the power play, and then an entire game of 5-on-5 action where they couldn't find a way to score. They have to find a way to score at even strength against this Jyväskylä team. They're not going to give you penalty after penalty to work with and try to you know, get your goals scoring going. I mean, they sense blood. You know, they had the comeback. You look at the time and attack. They were really the better team. They really ramped up their shooting there after the first 2 periods. I believe they had 6 registered shots there in the third. And, well, they're coming in overtime here. Anything can happen, but if you're Färjestad, you got to get this goal. You got to get it quick, because Jyväskylä has continued to look better as this game has progressed.
Biggest period of play here in the season, to say the least. Certainly in the postseason. Call them 2 different things if you want, but this is it. Sin, this is, to your point, the make or break moment. If FBK fall down 3-0 in the series after losing back-to-back overtime games, again, it is tough to see a comeback from there. Crazier things have happened, but the odds would certainly be against them. They're in possession here. Antonio stripped of the puck as he crossed the line. So Mari dropping back to his defense. Let's see what Yip are able to do here. Domi looks for space and not able to hit Indy over the line. BK, get the stretch pass. Mullen has a bit of a step here. Backhand, loose puck. And an incredible opportunity goes to the wayside. Temin was there. Stood tall.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if he did try to pass over to Antonio. The lane was kind of there. Either way, it just went into the goaltender, and what looked dangerous didn't end up being that way.
Afe has it, but not able to find the space. Get back in possession here. Fighting for it. Vatu able to come up with it. It's the centerman. Antti tried to cut in. The outside-inside move just wasn't there. BK back in possession here. One hell of a chance on the previous rush. Afe still fighting for this one. So we've seen that a couple of times where he'll just try to brute force his way past the defense. Not working so far. Omari pinching in. Afe is there to pick up the loose puck. Furian goes back around the back of the net. Antonio will settle things down. Here comes the rush from FBK, but forced to turn things around. Trap game from Jyväskylä on point, although Mullen finds a weakness, drops back to the defense. Rubitus having a little bit of trouble with the pressure, not able to maintain control. Here come Jyväskylä. Antti had a speed shot, rebound, but Afe is there. Great effort from him, emptying the gas tanks in to get back and help out on defense. That was a crucial play.
Absolutely, and I love the effort from it. Jyväskylä there, just a low shot for rebound, and it was a juicy one. However, they couldn't come up with it. You know, as you mentioned, I mean, Afe with a strong back check, getting possession on that, not allowing that to become a goal, because if that went to a Jyväskylä stick, it could have been all over.
Face off goes to Yip, shot on, big save there. Domi with the wrister from the point. Still fighting for it. Vatu has it, trying to get that shot through and sneak it. Just wasn't there. Mullen able to carry into the zone here. Cuts back, looking for options. Nearly held on to it for too long, but he still has it here. Finds Antonio down low, who tried to hit Afe. Then that's been a go-to play for them. Jyväskylä really have done a tremendous job of defending it through these 3 games.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's why they were, you know, kicking it up to Fury and up top a bit to open that up.
Base here, diving effort from Domi to take away the pass. It's going to be won by Omari. Jyväskylä going the other way. Indy able to find space just over the line, not able to hold on to it. Afe sends it back. Rubitas able to play it out. Let's see. You can see here all 5 players for Jyväskylä still in the zone. You'd think that's where we might see that quick out to try and find Afe, but it's just not there right now. Now low in the corner, the captain Indy fires it around and out of the zone. A break there for FBK with 6 minutes to play.
Yeah, and it was Domi once again on that saucer attempt. Didn't have enough on it, but Domi read it perfectly, got the cutoff, and brought his team back into the zone for another offensive chance.
Afe able to walk away with the puck here, drops back to the point, quick D to D. Rubitas for Antonio, back again to the defenseman, and again down low into the corner. Mullen for Antonio. Crafty feed, turnover! Oh! Off there, the doorstep, just couldn't pull backhand. What an opportunity for FBK to end this one. Race for the puck is won, so to have another chance in the offensive zone, what a close call that was.
Yeah, credit to Teme too. Stuck with him, didn't panic, just stayed on his positioning and just didn't let Afe get that shot away as the way he wanted.
FBK will get the puck back here in the neutral zone. They'll work their way through, nowhere to go. 2 minutes to play. Of course, it'll be a slow 2 minutes in overtime. Still plenty of time to work with here. Space for Vatu. He's the goal for one-timer just wide for Ilmari. BK trying to go back down the other way. Near turnover. Mullen has it. Can't protect. Minute 40 to go. Again, a turnover in the neutral zone. We've seen it from both sides. Space here for Antonio. Wanted a toe drag. Was bumped off the puck. Mullen. Drop it down low into the corner. Nobody there. Jyväskylä go the other way. Big step up hit there from Mullen. Antonio with a little bit of space here. Racing into the corner. Has Afe not able to find that pass through yet again. Still in possession though. Mullen looking. Back for Antonio. Still plenty of time on the clock. Rubitas. Circle back and again looking. Finds Mullen. Backhand. Tried to feed Antonio. Just not there. Jyväskylä not giving an inch right now. Antonio nearly pokes that away. Domi survived. Breaks down the other way. Finds Vatu on the left. Looking in front. Antti tried to shovel one on. Loose puck. Recovered. Furian is there. And Andy upped off. Mullen has been fantastic at playing the body of the game tonight.
He really has. His body work's been amazing. He's good in the offensive zone, facilitating as well on the passes. The trend I've noticed from Färjestad is they want the shot from the right side of the ice where Afe is and when Furian is. They're really not taking any shots from the left sides, which makes their offense a bit predictable right now.
When you're able to recover, still Mullen fighting for it. Tried to throw it on, and again from the odd angle, just not there. 28 to play here in the overtime. Antti for Ilmari, bumped off but recovers. Indy in the corner, takes the hit, can't make the play, but this should be an icing call against FBK. It's not. So here we go, final 15 seconds. Are we heading for a second overtime? It'd be our second double overtime game of the playoff campaign. Big step up hit there. 4 seconds to go. Turned over. Mullen shot. Score! With 0.6 remaining. The turnover. The goal. It's never too late. And Färjestad are back in the series. Unbelievable.
What? Blink and you missed it. I think I blinked. What just happened right there? Mullen, you mentioned him playing the body, forcing turnovers, mostly in the neutral and the defensive zone. Does it there in the offensive zone, and somehow, some way, it finds its way into the back of the net. We need another look at it. It all happened way, way too quickly, but I think we're going to get a look at the first goal. Yeah, we are. We're going to get a look at the first goal first. What the heck? I mean, unreal. There's that power play goal again. Great job from Antonio to clean up the trash. And, of course, the response goal from Jyväskylä off the faceoff. Good tie-up play. A bit of the bobble there. Delays, shot. McSavic just caught moving too much to the left, but here it is. I mean, forces the turnover at the blue line. Slap shot. Top corner. Teme caught. Teme slid a bit too much to the left as McSavic did on their goal and pays for it. That is one of the weirdest And perhaps one of the most game-changing, series-changing goals that we've ever seen. Instead of a chance still for Jyväskylä to go up 3-0 on one weird shot, it's now 2-1, and Färjestad are clawing their way back into it. I am surprised. I like I said, I literally blinked. I was preparing, looking at my notes to go over the intermission analysis, and no, it's over. I mean, wow. That's any crazy things happen here in the ECL Elite. I'm at a loss for words. Please take over if you can.
That close to double overtime. 0.6 seconds away. It seemed like it was a guarantee. Instead, FBK are back. We can guarantee you now, again, 1945 CET. There will be a stream right here tomorrow. That broadcast and finish, I'm a little bit jealous if I'm being honest. But we are guaranteed at the very least a fifth game between these two teams now. So we will not know the conclusion of this series today. Unfortunately, Sin, we have a lot to talk about. Let's do it on the flip side of this little break here. Let's send it over to our partners at Wilhelm for the moment. Unbelievable.
Wilhelmin ykköskentän pakkeina uudet tulokkaat. Sour Cream Snacks ja Flaming Hot Snacks. Kotikatsomoissa mukana Wilhelm Snacksit.
So, Sin, was that 7 seconds enough to kind of, really put together your thoughts as to what we just saw? One of the craziest tournament events we've ever seen. You were just talking about it, though, and I do wonder if it played a factor. We weren't seeing FBK take too many shots, particularly from that left-hand side.
Yeah.
You could call it an attempt for us to overanalyze it, but you know what? At the end of the day, that's what we're here to do.
Yeah.
A rare shot from the left-hand side, right at the buzzer. It's a goal that, or really a shot attempt that as a goalie, you're not expecting to see. 3 seconds left, your centerman is skating down the ice. And it's not to just focus solely upon Teme for allowing that particular goal. It's obviously on the forward as well for the turnover. Very uncharacteristic there. But as we called out as well, you saw with the front three of FBK, they were giving Jyväskylä a little bit of their own medicine with that extra forechecking pressure. And it took a little bit of time for it to bear fruits. That first goal, a minute and a half into the game on the power play. And then finally it pays off right at the end. Yeah. But again, if you're Teme, it's not a shot you were expecting. I'd say especially from that side. But it just goes to show pucks on net, anything can happen. And unfortunately for the rookie goaltender, like you said, he got caught making one of those micro adjustments. And if that happens in this game, if you are playing goaltender and your feet are not set as that puck is coming at you, you are incredibly unlikely to make the save with the way this game works. And it was that slight opportunity, that little bit of a chance that ultimately pays off for, about as late of a goal as you can possibly score.
Yeah, and if you're Mullen, what a way to be rewarded for your efforts throughout that game. I thought he was fantastic in all three zones. That being said, Färjestad, their offense got predictable at times. Yes, they won that game, but it's still, it feels like their only two shooting options on zone time is they're looking for Afe. If Afe isn't there, they kick it up top, they go to Furion. I didn't see Rubitas taking shots in the zone. I didn't see Mullen pulling the trigger in the zone. I didn't really see Antonio pulling the trigger in the zone. It was kind of always trying to find Afe there for the shots. And while, it's an okay strategy and Afe's a great, goal scorer, you're going to have to find different ways to get the puck to the net.
Absolutely. So again, an updated look at the bracket here for those of you who might just be joining us. Again, our number one seed in Philadelphia have moved on after defeating Northern Ascendancy in 5 games. Havu, our defending champions, the 2 seed, sweep Roots Gaming. They are on to the second round where they will play H-Reds, who are fresh off of a 4-game sweep of our 6th seed in Vesapampa, a much closer series, as Sin and I can attest to, getting to cover the first 3 games of that on Monday. And then, of course, Jyväskylä now only up by a single game. Färjestad find their way back into this one. It might have been a late goal, Sin. It might have been kind of a fluky moment there. Everything that could have gone right did. But I mean, it was the great one's birthday this week, was it not? So as Michael Scott once said, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take.
Yeah.
And we've talked about that time and time again, the differences, I think, between, obviously the North American side and the European side, where especially here on the European side, we see that incredible emphasis on possession at all times from the vast majority of teams. And again, we look at these two clubs. I mean, FBK 6th in shots heading in at the end of the season, and Yip were in 7th. But these two teams, FBK, for example, it was 315 shots in a 30-game season. Comes out to 10.5 shots a game. That's often, again, the fine indicator of, for the most part, we're not going to try to waste this possession. We want those A-grade chances at all times. And sometimes, we saw it as well in, I believe it was game 2 against McSaven, where just a random backhand was thrown on and it beat him, because oftentimes you're not expecting those opportunities. So I really do have to wonder. I fully expect that we still continue to see the heavy possession play from both sides, but it really raises the question of when certain teams are just going to say, screw it, let's just throw whatever we can at the net, traffic in front, and see what happens and try to catch a goaltender off guard.
Yeah, and I feel like Jyväskylä didn't do enough of that in the first 2 periods, and that was, I believe, the downfall of Färjestad in game 1, is that they didn't throw enough pucks on net. At times in this one, Färjestad did a good job of that, where they're throwing pucks on net, but it seemed to be when they had a lead, then they're like, okay, we could take these point shots now, we could do this, but as soon as the game was tied up, they went right back to trying to force that middle, force the high danger chances. So I think, you have to adjust throughout the game, but if you're Färjestad, do a little bit of everything and not just in certain situations. It seems like they're very system-based right now, and Jyväskylä has caught on to that in certain ways and has made them pay for it. Yes, Färjestad just won that game, but, call it what it is, a fluky goal, perhaps a bit lucky. To win, they'll take it, but they're going to have to still, play better as the series goes along, because Jyväskylä, very tough opponent here.
So with that, game 4 is underway. Yip, of course, going up on your screen. Färjestad in the white and green going down. Again, this is our second and final game of this broadcast today, a shorter broadcast, but once more, we will be live tomorrow, 1945 CET, same start time as today. Of course, it comes out to about 1:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for those of you here on the North American side of things. It'll be the conclusion of this series between these two teams. We are only guaranteed game 5. Färjestad trying to make sure that we're guaranteed at least 2 games tomorrow as well. Again, a reminder, that broadcast in Finnish. Of course, check us out on all the socials for updates, and of course, NHLgamer.com. An incredible end of that game, and Färjestad looking to have a hot start there again. Domi having to go all out. Second chance, puck still loose. Opportunity on the doorstep for Afe, but he just couldn't get a piece of it. Fortunate there for Jyväskylä. They go offside on the flip side there, but Tim, we almost saw another early goal from FBK.
Yeah, it was a good initial defensive play, but I think that was Domi there, diving down onto the ice with that shot block animation, breaking up the initial pass, but it was several whacks at it on the rebound, and I do like that from Färjestad. Just start putting the puck on net, testing Teme from wherever.
Back in the offensive zone here, down the board, slower pass. Recovered again by Mullen. Antonio nowhere to go. Didn't even look like he had the puck there, but no interference call. See what Yip can do. Ilmari. Couple quick passes. They get it all the way back to Domi. Again, going to continue to work it down the boards, around the back. Vatu, the lone goal scorer for Jyväskylä in the last game. Domi, trouble. Antonio, great job there. It's in. That's one of our key points we talked about. At times in those first 2 games, they gave Domi way too much time and space to be able to work. Antonio doing a better job here. Pass across, shot, scored! You're working from the right-hand side, might be able to catch him off guard, and good things could happen. It's the captain, Indy, able to find the back of the net. It's in this time, a much better start for Jyväskylä.
Yep, really what the doctor ordered right there. It was good zone time, and, I was going to be like, all right, they're working the perimeter pretty well, but they're only working that perimeter. They got to find a way to penetrate the inside. You mentioned it, Antonio putting more pressure on Domi, but if you play that tighter point, sometimes the middle can open up just a little bit. That's what we saw there. Indy creeps his way into the slot, as he so often does, gets the shot away. 1-0 Jyväskylä.
See how FBK respond. We have seen some crazy moments of teams going back and forth. Indy nearly picked the corner there on the secondary opportunity. We talk about a couple early chances for Färjestad. The response, Jyväskylä with a couple of chances of their own. They are able to capitalize. Trouble here, Indy causing havoc in the offensive zone. Färjestad really nowhere to go here. Antonio, though, great play. 2-on-1. Afe with the puck over. Big blocker save. Great job by Teme there to keep that one out. FBK still on the attack. One-timer blocked down as Malin looked for Antonio. So better response from FBK. Still not able to find their opening goal in this game, though.
No, but good looks, different looks, higher one-timers than the low one to Afe. I like that. Both Malin on the rush play and Antonio there in the zone. We're going to see another power play here for FBK, as that is Ilmari going to the box again. Or was he the one in the box last game? Yeah,
he took a penalty in the last game as well. We've seen that extra aggressiveness from him. He was 6th in hits amongst defensemen in the regular season, so we know he's aggressive. Färjestad scoring on the power play. In game 3, shot, big stop, rebound, puck still loose. And a better look there. Furion again, just winding up and letting it go, sir.
Yep, so Färjestad really are trying to throw different offensive looks at Jyväskylä. Don't let them get too comfortable defending something.
Allen's been incredible on the draws. They win it again. Furion back to Rubitas. Finds Malin. He wanted that quick backhand pass. No space. Domi nearly loses it. A lot of traffic. FBK keep it. They didn't send it all the way down. Furion looking in front. Fired just wide on the glove side. Chance for Malin again. Antonio tried to pull it across the crease and just couldn't hold on to it. Chance developing the other way. Latu expending a lot of energy. He'll send it around the back. And Abdi was forced to pull back here. So 30 seconds to go on the power play. Some good chances. Right now, Teme doing a great job keeping this scoreline the same. Chance for Malin. Over to Furion. Finds Afe, gets it in front. Back to 5-on-5 here. Antonio looking. Has Malin around the back of the net. 2 players below the goal line here. Malin again tries to find Afe. And they have looked for that play no less than a dozen times. I don't think it's worked once.
It hasn't, and there was another pass option. Furion was pinching in right there. I wonder if the pass was maybe meant for him, but it's hard to say with how much, as you mentioned, they've been forcing that pass on that short side to Afe.
Okay, though, back in possession here. Under 2.5 to go in the first period of Game 4. Again, this first-round matchup, the ECL Elite Division Playoff Season 11. Incredible to think that we've been able to call action for the seasons that we have. Season 11 already here. Chance for Indy. He takes a huge hit, and it opens up a chance down the other way here in the final minute. Great job by Antonio. Pass deflects, nearly finds its way home. Again, the pass-first mentality for FBK paying off in some regards. Loose puck, 5 seconds, 3-on-2. Quick out, on net. Another chance for offense, poked away. Recovered Mullen. And Sin, you have to pay extra attention there in the final few seconds after how Game 3 ended.
Yeah, and another Omaha pass. That one on net again. The only 2 I think we've seen from them have been on net in this one. And I was, a little part of me was maybe expecting that one to go in. I do think it careened a little bit strangely off of Teme, so I'm not too sure if it actually he saved it or went off of him and then maybe even clipped part of the post. I'm not too sure with the way it careened off him. Hard to say as well with the camera switching during that time. That being said, though, Färjestad, good job putting pucks on that. Jyväskylä, though, 1 shot, 1 goal. They're the efficient ones right now.
To cut you off here, Sid, because I want you to get this point in before this period begins. Are you surprised we haven't seen those long pass attempts to free up Afe, which is how Färjestad beat Jyväskylä last year? They really haven't gone for it.
A little bit, but I really think that Ilmari, the reason we haven't seen him offensively as much is because he's really making sure that Afe doesn't get free.
Fair enough. Chance here. FBK, nowhere to go for Antonio through the double coverage. Indy going to try to chase this one down. No icing on the play. Furion able to recover. Good outside-inside move there, or inside-outside, I should say. Antonio still fighting for it. Again, no space down that left-hand side of your screen. Antti has options. Ilmari pinching in front to Indy. And McSaven with a gigantic stop here in the early stages of this second period.
Yeah, almost like Ilmari may have heard us right there. Jumps into the play right there on the offensive side of things, generating a chance and another kind of breathtaking moment there for the Färjestad goaltender.
Quick play off the draw, weak backhand on, not obviously what Vata was looking for. Another great chance there. And a 4-on-2 developing here for FBK. Poked away by Domi. What a job there to neutralize a great scoring chance back down the other way. Domi looking to find space here. See a little bit less lateral movement from these two teams, as you would say, compared to a Havu or a Philadelphia to try and find those lanes. Great job by Indy to win it. Pass across, and it just doesn't find its way home. Another great chance. Here comes Mullen, the OT hero, tries to get it to Antonio. He does pick it up. Tried to pass across instead of putting it on. No space. Still has it down low. Banks it off the side of the net, back of the net. Loose puck, Antonio. Not able to hold on to that one, and Ante able to get that pass through. So again, Jyväskylä surviving. Ante has it again here, looking to cut in. Banks off the skates of a defender. Antonio will be forced to drop it back down here. And a dump and chase attempt. It's a rarity, but it works. Antonio able to get it over, down low into the corner here. Let's see how this plays out. Of course, it will be Jyväskylä winning this one back. But not for long. So again, really back and forth action right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've been making a point to keep my eye on. Oh, wait, hold that thought.
Chance just wide of the glove side. Another opportunity here. Zafe wins it back. D to D deflects off the player. We've seen great chances on both sides. No goals yet here in the second period, though.
Yeah, and every time that we see Afe rush up the ice when his team has the puck, Ilmari is right there with him, so he's keeping a big eye on Afe, not letting him get free.
Antonio gets the pass back from Mullen. Traffic, Furion wins it back, and again, nowhere to go. We saw them score. Chance here for Ilmari. Head of steam, lose it. Loose puck, scores! Shot and score. What a shot from Vatu. Sin, we've talked about it with these two teams just looking to get the pucks into those high danger areas no matter how many times it fails. And Vatu with the gift of a loose puck in that opportunity in that space. He makes no mistake, the rookie scores again.
Yeah, and a bit of a broken play goal, as you're right. It's just off of a loose puck. It looks like a drop pass from Ilmari, so we'll give him a bit of credit for that with the stick positioning, but more of a loose puck there that McSavid wasn't in bad position for. It's just the shot from Vatu there, high percentage area, right in the low slot, just beats him over that glove. 2-0 Jyväskylä. Färjestad really got to step on the gas now.
We'll see how they adjust now at this point. Beyond the halfway point of Game 4, now down by 2. And that was the scoreline here, a 2-0 win in Game 1. Perhaps all too familiar of a situation for FBK here. Vatu continues his incredible run with yet another goal. Someone who might have already won Rookie of the Year. Tough to say, has some great competition. Here's Indy, he has a goal in this game. Captain, still fighting for it in the corner. Ante, back over to Domi. Pinching in, circles back, finds Ante over to Indy, scores! Tremendous movement from Jyväskylä. The captain has his second of the game. And FBK are in that much more of a dire situation.
And once again, who was it keeping that puck in, driving the play down low? It's Domi, and again, he doesn't get credit for an assist there, but he was the one who started that cycle, went from his point position down low towards those half boys, made the initial pass, 2 more to get it to the middle, and Indy, again, finds himself in the slot area with enough time to pull the trigger. Jyväskylä so good at their timing, now leading 3-0. It's desperation time now for Färjestad.
You have time, as unlikely as it may be, but you have time. Let's see how they're able to respond here. The wheels falling off a little bit in this second period. Antonio gets it back, throws it in front. Good chance again. Furion holds it in. Mullen, Rubitas can't get the shot through. Again, great job by Domi to poke that one away. Turned over, Afe, pass over, another quick pass. They just can't get it through the traffic. Mullen wins it back again. Shot, loose puck again. Just not able to sweep it in with Zafe. 5 minutes to play. Afe. The interception. Loose puck recovered. Ante. He feeds Ilmari. 20 seconds to play here. Vatu. Self pass off the boards. Gets it down low to Ante. Again, back to Vatu. Poked away. 4 seconds around the back of the net here. And that will do it for this second period. Jyväskylä in the driver's seat right now. And it's desperate times, desperate measures for Färjestad.
Yeah, and it's almost sort of this game mirroring what we saw last season with 3 goals off of 4 shots, but this time it's for Jyväskylä. Those are some Färjestad numbers from last season, but it's Jyväskylä doing it to Färjestad in this one. And Färjestad, they are getting the offensive zone time. They do have the shots, but again, they're not able to get those high danger shots. Jyväskylä doing such a good job right now of keeping them from what they want to do offensively, and it's been that case for a lot of this series so far. And that's the reason why right now they're looking at possibly going up 3-1 unless Färjestad can complete a monumental comeback.
I mean, right now, too, you look at the stat line through almost 4 games played. You have Antonio, 1 goal. Malin, 2 goals. Afe with just 1. Big stop by McSavid there as well. The front 3 need to find a way through, particularly Afe. He needs to find some space and start scoring the goals. 31 goal scorer in the regular season. Again, just 1 at this stage. It was a power play goal as well. Battled on in the corner through the double team pressure. Shot! May have been on target there. Thought it might have deflected. Furian looking back to Rubitus, and now we're seeing it. Just willing to throw shots on, but is it too little too late? Antonio tries to go to Furian. It's not there. Sin, you like to see it, but again, is it too little too late to have made these adjustments?
Perhaps a little bit, and they still want those in-tight chances, but you're seeing Domi with the LB.
What a play by Vatu! Can't bury it at the end. Incredible attempt. That certainly would have sealed this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Vatu scored right there. I mean, McSavid, that's a huge one to make right there. Keeping your team at least semi-close in this one, not completely out of it.
9-2 on faceoffs now for FBK, but it hasn't translated to success. Spin move, couple of quick passes, slap shot on, rebounds there, and handled, recovered ultimately here. FBK, another shot, can't get it through the traffic. Where was this earlier in the game is the question right now.
Yeah, just
their way through the neutral zone space here. Vatu, spinorama, loose puck on the doorstep for Indy, can't sweep it home. You think Vatu's playing with confidence or what?
Absolutely, another one there, almost scores on, and FBK trying to get back into the zone, but again, now Jyväskylä really cementing their blue line, not allowing Färjestad to get established at all.
Vatu again, able to find Indy. Back down low, throws it in front. On net, McSavid able to cover it. 10:44 to go here in Game 4. Again, Game 5 at the very least tomorrow, 1945 CET, right here on twitch.tv/NHL Gamer. That cast in Finnish. Färjestad need to win this game if they want to have more than a 1-game showing tomorrow night, Sim.
Yeah, and it's just 1 game guaranteed. Färjestad, I mean, they picked up the 1 win today, so if they do go down 3-1 at the end of this game, it's a better chance than being down 3-0. But with how Jyväskylä's played, especially Domi and Elmari in the zone, they are not allowing those cross-crease passes to go through whatsoever. Everything in their power. They're bodying guys off the puck. They're going down with the L1 blocks and everything, and we're actually going to see a power play now for Jyväskylä, as that's a trip right there. Vatu being a menace again on the rush, creating space, forcing out a call, and if Jyväskylä score here, it's icing on the cake, and it's pretty much over.
We'll see how this one goes. Huge opportunity. Antonio Mannin in the box. Great movement, shot, and a big kick save by McSavid. Recovered here, though. Indy for Vatu, loose puck. Having trouble finding space. They do get it out of the zone. Just barely. The opportunity now. Turnover. Furian obviously has to try and look to make something happen here. Brings it into the zone. Far corner. Nobody home. Down to just 50 seconds remaining on the Yip man advantage. Zanti slows it down. Gets it back. Knocked away again. So good effort on the PK here from FBK. Mistimed at the line, but Sin, precious time winding off that clock.
Yeah, and they're really not taking any chances. There's a slight chance to thread the needle there through to Indy on the rush play, but I like the fact that they didn't take it. They know that the clock ticking is in their favor. They just got to, get out of this one with the lead. The power play working to their advantage in that way. So you see them making sure, that Färjestad can't use an aggressive forecheck to force a turnover in their end. They're not trying to get more offense. They understand it's just about a possession game right now and playing for Teme back there. And you're seeing that from Jyväskylä being very careful with the puck puck. And when they do have it, understanding that they don't have to rush the plays, Färjestad has to essentially come to them.
15 seconds left on this man advantage. Tie up. Antti able to make it work. Indy can't work his way through. We are back to 5-on-5, but not for long. Hooking call there. Sin, it's all falling apart for FBK.
Yep, they have to force the issue here, and you see Mullen there going to the box. Your centerman, who's been so strong off the face-offs right there, but that it's just not a good time to stick lift. It's a right-handed guy. You're on the wrong side of his body. He's not facing you. That's a frustration penalty right there for sure.
This one sent down, doesn't find its way to Afe, who has been neutralized, especially in comparison to last year's matchup in the first round between these two teams. But there have been some crucial changes to the lineup, benefited both teams. But right now, Jyväskylä looking like the team that's that much more likely to play Philadelphia in round 2. Great movement, scores! It's Vatu again! As if he didn't secure Rookie of the Year already, Sin. My goodness, what an effort from this man here in this first round matchup. 4-0.
And again, unbelievable from Jyväskylä. Somehow, some way, finding the tiniest bit of space to get the puck into the slot and get another one. It's Vatu right there. Quick give and go, catching Färjestad trying to move between skaters as again, they need to try to force the issue. Even down a man, they have to force these turnovers. Perfectly placed shot. McSaven, not a whole lot he could do about that one. And good power play from Jyväskylä. The penalty comes back to bite Färjestad. 4-0 here in the dying moments of the third. Yeah, it's pretty much over, unfortunately, for Färjestad in this one.
Yeah, I don't really think there's too much we can say in the last 5 minutes. Shot on, kick save by McSaven. Not really too much we're going to be able to do here to make this one interesting in terms of the gameplay. Obviously, a disappointing result here, Sin. Opportunity on the doorstep taken away. Incredibly disappointing. Afe here has a step. Chance scores! So Afe gets his second goal of this series. Maybe a little bit lackadaisical. Hence there from Jyväskylä, but finally he finds space. Then that's all he needs is a chance, but they just haven't been able to get him those opportunities.
No, that's really the only time we've seen Afe be able to beat both of the defensemen there, and it comes off of a forced pass, which is good for them, and maybe they should have been trying that a bit earlier on, but we've said that a lot for Färjestad. Oh, they're taking a lot of shots now. Maybe they should have tried that earlier. Well, they just forced that stretch pass there. Maybe they should have tried that earlier. It's a lot of shoulda, woulda, coulda right now, and you're down 4-1 here with not a lot of time left.
They try the quick out again. Afe he is going to be able to win that one off a poke check. Incredible effort there, but not able to get the body position. I mean, Sim, we talked about it for FBK. I mean, the adjustments of taking more shots, finding different ways to get Afe into open space because they just kept going back to the well from that behind the net short side pass. I think for FBK right now, it has to be more of a sense of frustration because the adjustments were there to be made. You can make the argument as to whether or not Yip would have neutralized those efforts as well, but just don't think they threw enough different looks at the opposition.
No, absolutely not. We're seeing Afe do everything he can here at the end.
And again, the heavy collapse for Jyväskylä works. So again, it will be a 3-1 series lead for Jyväskylä. Game 5 at the very least will be tomorrow. We'll see if FBK can make this a series opportunity here. Indy burst of speed will just cut back into the corner. Finds Vatu down low. We know with how much this series means to Jyväskylä, they're not going to take their foot off the gas here down the closing stretch. Sin, obviously, it's unfortunate that we're not going to be able to call it, but we have to, of course, give a fair amount of time to our Finnish colleagues as well with their own broadcast. But I mean, what's it going to be for FBK? The face-offs have gone your way. Is it just a matter of taking those shots? Like, what is it going to be for them? Opportunity, shot just wide. But what's it going to be for them? A quick out. An offside call there. Afe not able to find the space.
Well, I think they need to recognize the adjustments and make them sooner. Stop trying to... They're forcing things in the offensive zone and not taking enough risks off the rush. I mean, yes, Jyväskylä has had a strong forecheck, but, you can really try to, counteract that by doing what you do best, trying to sneak Afe behind there. He hasn't had much luck at that. Mullen with another late chance. Won't really matter if it goes in nonetheless, though. Färjestad, unfortunate for them. The goals just weren't there. The chances just weren't there. The adjustments were there, but, oftentimes too little, too late. And Jyväskylä really capitalized on their chances throughout this series thus far. And, I mean, yeah, you mentioned only one guaranteed game tomorrow. I'm sure our Finnish counterparts are going to absolutely kill it. Make sure to tune in to that and the conclusion of this series, because it will be a dandy no matter what. Färjestad won't go down without a fight, and we'll really see if they're going to be able to, keep throwing those different looks at them. I mean, we mentioned it. They were really forcing that off-face side of the ice. Both him and Furion seemed to be the only ones there taking shots for a bit. Once they moved away from that, it looked better, but they still couldn't do it consistently enough. And then, it seemed like once they got into a position of comfort, they just kept going back to like the safe, what was working. And it just, Jyväskylä just played better, and they were able to better adjust and better penetrate the middle of the ice.
So, Sin, we talked about it for all of last year. It looked like Jyväskylä and H-Reds were going to be able to be the two teams to push our top two in Philadelphia and Havu to make it more of a big four instead of a big two. We have seen H-Reds do their job. Last year, barely made it through the first round, ended up losing in the semis. This year, sweep in the first round. They have that rematch with Havu. And now for Jyväskylä, you are just one win away. And again, I am sure they are sick of us talking about it. But for those that missed it, last year's number one seed that fell to this Färjestad team in the first round in just 5 games. They were the 8th seed, of course. But now Jyväskylä, one win away from getting that date with destiny against former champions in Philadelphia. And indeed, ultimately securing the fact that we do have the big four. Whether or not they can really shake it up and knock one of the big two off of their perch and get us a different final this year, time will ultimately tell. But for Jyväskylä, despite that slip up in overtime, they're right where they want to be. They have to view today as a success ultimately.
Yeah, and that's another thing. I mean, the game that Färjestad did win, it kind of came off of an interesting shot, something that no one really expected, a shot that you could argue is a bit fluky. Yes, it did go in. Yes, you got the win. But after that, if you're Färjestad, what else really was going, right for you guys? You couldn't get your long stretch passes going. You couldn't get the offensive chances that you wanted going. So at this point, just throw it all out the window. Take what's given to you. I know Jyväskylä doesn't give you a lot, but you got to take what's given to you against this team. They're too good defensively, and they're too good on the counterattack and finding holes in your defense to really only be able to score 1 or 2 goals a game.
Absolutely. So again, one more reminder here, 1945 CET. Of course, that is about 1:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for those of you here on the North American side of things. Game 5. It's all that's guaranteed. But it will be the conclusion, one way or another, of our final first-round series here between Jyväskylä and Färjestad. We'll see if FBK are able to complete what would be a monumental comeback. We have seen 3-1 comebacks before, including Sin in the finals previously. So, hey, anything can happen. We'll see how that plays out. And then again, as has been mentioned in the chat, the second-round matchups begin on Monday. Can't wait to see how that plays out. Sid, if I'm not mistaken, we're just about ready to head out here. Any closing thoughts? I mean, again, kind of a weird situation for us. Normally, we're like, all right, let's keep going, second series, but we are one and done today in terms of particular matchups. Yeah,
I mean, final thoughts. It's a tough look for Färjestad. Jyväskylä, they look good. I mean, you can't put it past them. It's not that Färjestad has been particularly bad. It's that Jyväskylä is hungry, and they're good right now. They're just simply finding a way, and that's what good teams do. No matter the situation, no matter no matter what kind of game is being played, they find a way to get the job done.
All right. So again, that will do it for this one. Make sure, of course, to follow us on all of the social medias, of course, for NHL Gamer. Of course, the links are here on Twitch, but Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, of course, for all the latest news. And, of course, NHLGamer.com to follow not just what's going on with the Elite Division, but, of course, our other 3 tiers as well. Playoff situations going on there as we speak. You can find your name's Twin now. Sin on Twitter. Easy for me to say. I need a nap. You can find Sin on Twitter at Sin for the Win Prod, and of course on YouTube at Sin FTW Productions. Myself, soon to be in my bed for that much needed nap. But after that, at Tuki24 everywhere, of course, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, the whole shebang, the Instagram as well. Sin, we will be back Monday. I can't wait already. We'll see, of course, whether or not it's going to be Jyväskylä or Färjestad joining us in the Final Four. I'll tell you who'll be joining us, though, guaranteed. It's Wilhelm, because they'll never let us down. We'll see you guys Monday.
Wilhelmin ykköskentän pakkeina uudet tulokkaat. Sour Cream Snacks ja Flaming Hot Snacks. Kotikatsomoissa mukana Wilhelm Snacksit.